was just a stray dog, wandering through the snowy streets of Moscow. I had no home, no collar, no name, but I was never truly alone. We were a pack. On cold nights, we huddled together, pressed against each other for warmth, beneath old buildings, behind firewood stacks wherever the wind couldn't reach us. But when the sun rose, we were free again. We ran, we jumped, we pounced on each other, racing through the empty streets, paws hitting the frozen ground. The fastest one? The king. The day until the next race. Sometimes, we found a stick, tugging it between our teeth, rolling and tumbling in the snow. If someone bit too hard, they stepped back, tail low in apology. If one of us was tired, we all lay beside them, keeping watch. These streets were our playground. And food, that was an adventure. One of us tipped over a trash can, another sniffed behind a shop. Sometimes we found a secret spot where warm breadcrumbs waited for us. If one of us ate, we all ate. Food was scarce. The hungriest ate first. That was a rule. That was our friendship. We didn't care about tomorrow, not about danger, not about how long our happiness would last. We were free. We were happy. And then, they came, and everything changed. They were different. Men in long coats, watching us from a distance, whispering, moving closer. We had seen men like them before, but this time, something felt different. A black van stood on the side of the road, its door slightly open. My friends knew better. They always knew when to run, and they did. One by one, they disappeared into the alleys. But I hesitated, just for a moment. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was the way they looked at me, not like the kind strangers who tossed me scraps, not like the laughing children who played with me. Something about their eyes made my fur stand on end. I took a step back, but it was too late. I felt hands grab me, a rough tug at my fur, a rope around my neck. A cage slammed shut behind me. The snow, the streets, my friends, all disappeared. I barked. I scratched at the metal bars. I whimpered at Dot and no one heard me. Or maybe no one cared. Blinding lights, explosions, the deep, murmuring whispers of machines, like something alive was breathing. But nothing here was alive. Everything was artificial metal. Wires, silent computer screens staring at me. There was something in the air. A scent, like death, like time itself had been cut open and left to rot. This place was outside of reality. And then, as if someone had flipped a switch inside my mind, memories shattered and poured in. Snow, soft, cotton-like flakes landing on my paws, the whisper of the wind, the laughter of children, their excited screams echoing in the air, hunger-filled nights. Where had it all gone? I turned my head. There was no sky, only walls closed, cold, indifferent. And then a shadow loomed over me. It's time. I opened my eyes. All dreams were gone. Thud! The door slammed shut. Darkness. A ringing in my ears. There was nothing here. No light. No window. No way out. The air was still. And no barking of friends. And no children's laughter. And no life. Just me. And these suffocating, merciless walls. My heartbeat pounded in my chest. And no, I can't stay here. I clawed at the walls. Maybe there was a crack, a door, an escape. But nothing changed. This was a coffin. A grave before I had even taken flight. A deafening roar. The ground trembled beneath me. An invisible force crushed me against my seat. My heart pounded wildly. I tried to move, to escape, but there was nowhere to go. And then, weightlessness, slowly. I lifted my head. Through the tiny window I saw it. Earth. Small. Distant. Beautiful. The place where I once ran free. The place I belonged. The place I had been stolen from. Now, I was somewhere else. Somewhere I didn't understand. I pressed my nose against the cold glass. Below me, the world turned slowly, silently. The streets I knew so well were there. Somewhere, I imagined the smell of fresh bread, the feel of snow under my paws, the sound of children laughing, calling my name even though I never had one. I wanted to be there. I wanted to run, to feel the wind, to live. But I was no longer there. I was no longer anywhere. At first, everything was calm, but then something felt wrong. A deep ache filled my body. My heart raced faster, and faster, like it was trying to escape my chest. Breathing became harder. My throat burned with thirst. I whimpered, scratched at the walls, looked for water, but there was nothing. Only metal walls, the soft hum of machines, and the endless silence of space. I called out. For my friends, for the children who used to chase me, for the scientists who had put me here. I barked, I cried, I begged, but no one came. Why? Why did no one hear me? Why was I left to die? I curled up inside the tight space, my body weak, my breath shallow. I closed my eyes, and in the darkness, I dreamed. I was back in the streets of Moscow. The snow was falling, soft and gentle. The children were laughing, calling for me. I ran toward them, faster, faster, but just before I reached them, they faded away. Everything faded away. And then, silence.
Laika never returned. Her body orbited Earth for months. And then, she was gone. No grave, no farewell. Just a stray, lost in the stars. And yet, in the silence of space, perhaps even now her echo still lingers. A bark that was never answered, a question that was never heard. A stray, who never came home. But was it right? Did she deserve this fate? Was it fair to leave her all alone, frightened, helpless, and without a choice? Did we have the right to sacrifice a life that only ever wanted love and warmth? Is progress worth it, when it comes at the cost of an innocent soul, or have we lost something far more valuable than we gained? This is Laika's story, not just a story of a dog, a story of betrayal, a story of trust broken, a story we should never forget. What do you think? Was it fair to treat her this way? Do you believe this was justified in the name of progress? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective.